Alright, I'm back again with another top 10 video, continuing with the PlayStation mainline consoles. Last time I did PS3, and now I'll do PS2. Surprise, surprise. Now, this list was a difficult one to make. Probably the most difficult I've had to do yet, because now we are getting into real nostalgia territory. So these are games that I played. If for the PS3 list, those were games, most of them that I played when I was like 16, 17, 18 years old. So there is a little bit of nostalgia attached to them, but not as much as here. So these are games that I've played when I was like 12, 13. 14 for the most part. There are also some here that I've played more recently, but I had an incredibly difficult time eliminating games because there are so many here that I've played a bunch that I love from my childhood. So just like last time, I'll start off with just a list of games that I cut last from my short list. This time I think I had a short list of 23 titles. So I have here 8 that are not honorable mentions. And then I have some games that I haven't played at all that could be in consideration had I played them. And then I've got 5 honorable mentions and then the actual top 10. So let's get into it. I have here first the 8 that I had to eliminate last. So like for the other lists, I got to a point where I just couldn't anymore remove games from the list without feeling really bad about it. So these are the last 8 that I just couldn't remove. So I'll give a shout out to them. Starting off with Def Jam Fight for New York, which is a fighting game brawler, like a 3D brawler with gangster rap artists in it. It's silly and it's really fun, and it's one of the PS2 games that I've played the most of all time, just in terms of how many hours I've played something. Def Jam Fight for New York is easily in my top 5 of my most played PS2 games. Another game that I had to cut, just because I don't want to have multiple games from the same series or the same franchise in a list. So I had to eliminate GTA 3. This could also be GTA Vice City, but for me, GTA 3 is the more nostalgic one. So yeah, I have San Andreas on the list. Spoilers, but yeah, GTA 3. It's one of those games that if you played it when it was new, it was just mind blowing. There was nothing like it. It was a real 3D open world game on a console. How is that even possible? Like, when GTA 3 came out, I had never played anything like it, and it was just incredible. It was the most realistic and the most real thing people had ever played up to this point, and it was just fantastic. I don't know how well it has aged because I haven't replayed it actually. I don't think I've ever gone back to it. I've only played it on the PS2 multiple times way back in the day. But yeah, GTA 3 deserves a shout out. Another game that deserves a shout out is Haunting Ground, the horror game. Now very expensive and sought after as a physical copy. I got it for $20. Brand new, sealed. It was first for sale. It was like in a clearance bin. So yeah, Haunting Ground, really good horror game on the PS2, like a Clock Tower spin-off game. Another shout-out worthy game is Ico, or Ico, the predecessor to Shadow of the Colossus. In my last list, I had the HD PS3 release. There's also one for Ico, but I don't love the game as much as I do Shadow of the Colossus, so it doesn't make it to the list or even the honorable mentions. It's a really fun atmospheric puzzle platformer style of game. Also, fuck the haters. Like, there are a lot of people online who trash Ico because of the controls. I don't think the controls are that bad. I've never had any problem with them, so maybe you should check your gaming skills if you can't handle Ico controls. it's an interesting and fun game. I also have here Max Payne 2, the sequel, which is maybe a controversial choice. It's because I've played Max Payne 2 before I ever played the original. So the original is probably, as a video game and in terms of story and everything, it's probably better than the second one. But the second one is the one that I loved as a kid, so I have it here. Great third-person shooter with bullet time action and really fun writing, like a noir-style writing with some comedy in it. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the face of Sami Järvi, Sam Lake as Max Payne anymore, like the first game did. That's disappointing, but whatever. The actor is really good who plays Max Payne here. Right. Then I also have here The Godfather, which is a licensed game for the Godfather movies. Maybe a little bit of a weird one because the movies came out in the 70s. And then the third one came out later, but who gives a shit about that movie? So the first two Godfather games are from the early 70s, and they decided to do a PS2 game for those. I have no idea why, but it's really good. It's one of the better GTA clones out there. And then I have here Rockstar's The Warriors, the tie-in to the movie that's one of my favorite 80s action movies. Another old movie that got a PS2 game for some reason, like The Warriors. Is it from or is it even the late 70s? It could be like 78 even. The Warriors. I can't remember the exact year, but it's a really good Walter Hill directed New York action, almost like a neo-noir in style. Very, very good. And the game is really fun, like a 3D beat 'em up with some not open world exploration, but kind of a larger areas of gameplay that you can explore, like parts of cities and everything. It's really good. And then another, like a true nostalgia pick for me, is Tony Hawk's Underground, the first one by Neversoft. It's the first of these. Well, I guess Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 was kind of like that. I've never played it actually, but more of an open world style of Tony Hawk game where you can freely skate in different cities and these different areas and do missions in them. Really good stuff. So that's the 8 games that I just couldn't remove from consideration without feeling really bad about it. Then I have here 5 games that I haven't played. These are in alphabetical order. Those were in alphabetical order as well. So I've got here Dragon Quest: The Journey of the Cursed King. This is the how many Dragon Quest games are there? A lot. Is this the 8th one, I think? This is one of the ones that people like the best, so never played it. I've also got here Gitaroo Man. I love these oddball weirdo games. So Gitaroo Man, never played that. Also a racing game, Midnight Club 3, developed by Rockstar when they used to make games other than GTA. And then I've got here Persona 4. Persona is a series that it just doesn't exist in my lists because I've never finished a game in the series. So there you go. Except for Catherine, which is kind of like it's not really a Persona game, but it has the same look and feel to it, right? And then Beautiful Joe. So this is by the developers of Okami. Never played this series, this one or the second one. So that's 5 games that could be in consideration had I played them. Now, to the actual list. How long did it take this time? 9 minutes. That's pretty good. I was faster in a PS3 video, but whatever. A shout out to the people who are still here or who haven't skipped ahead. Right. The honorable mentions. This is tough. Like, these are just childhood favorites. I decided to go with Ape Escape 2. It's kind of a coin flip, Ape Escape 2 or 3 for me. 3 has this fun, like, movie genre gimmick to it, but I like Ape Escape 2. It's like a classic Ape Escape game. It's pretty close to the original. You go around with a net trying to grab all these monkeys or apes who have gone loose, and it's just a good time. It's just a really, really good time. Just all around a good time. Good vibes, good music as well. Really fun electronic soundtrack with this sort of like a drum and bass. Or is it drum and bass? I can't remember exactly what the genre is. It drum and bass? Is it jungle? Is it whatever it is? Anyway, really nice soundtrack, whatever it is. Another honorable mention: the original Beyond Good and Evil. They are still working on the sequel all these years later, but I absolutely loved this game on the PS2. It's a stealth spy game with some photography elements in it, and then third-person action game. And I think all parts of it like blend together really well. It has this kind of a Jak and Daxter feel to it, like Jak 2, but a lot better. Spoiler: there won't be any Jak and Daxter games on this list because I'm not a huge fan of the series. So, but like this is the best Jak and Daxter game ever made. Beyond Good and Evil. Jade, the main character, is so charming. I'm a huge fan of Jade as the main character. Right, another classic from the childhood of mine, Kingdom Hearts, the original, not the second one, because the first one is much better. The OG. The combat is awful, but I just think it's really charming. Like I love the opening island section of this game, and then Traverse Town, and then some of the later Disney areas. They're really fun in this game. In the sequels, not so much, but in here you have the Colosseum, you have the you've got the what is the movie? Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, you have the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Is it in this one? Or wait, is that in the sequel? Am I mixing up the games? I can't remember. Or whatever. It's close enough. Yes, it is in this one. It's there on the back cover. I started to doubt myself because I sometimes when I have played multiple games in a series, I kind of mix up which parts were in which games. But yeah, it is in this one, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, but yeah, just vibes. It's one of those games. If I played it now for the first time, I would probably hate it. I would probably hate it. I not necessarily hate it, but I wouldn't like get into it. But because I played it as like a 13-year-old, it was the perfect time to play Kingdom Hearts, and I love it. I love the first game. And then the fourth honorable mention is Project Zero, which is Fatal Frame in the US. The first. Now, why do I have the first game here? Because I haven't played the other ones. So a lot of people think that the second one is the best. I've got both of those in my collection, but I haven't played them. But yeah, I think this game has some of the best atmosphere ever in a horror video game, especially when you get to the cave sections. Not going to spoil anything, but the cave sections, so good. Love the combat with the camera, taking photos of the ghosts. A mechanic that has been copied by multiple games afterwards. And then lastly, as an honorable mention, I've got Time Splitters 2, one of the all-time great first-person shooters. For my money, I have one on the top list that's kind of a first-person shooter, but yeah, this is just a proper good old first-person shooter, really fast gameplay. One thing that I love about Time Splitters 2 is that it has aged remarkably well. I played this for the first time maybe 8 years ago. Maybe even more recent, maybe 6 years ago. I can't remember exactly. And it was really good. I loved it. So Time Splitters 2 has this fun time travel theme to it, so you go around in different times and in different parts of the world. Tight gameplay, great split screen multiplayer as well. Right, and then we get to the actual top 10, and we are going to start off with a banger. So at number 10, I couldn't resist putting Klonoa 2 Lunatea's Veil. Now there is a PS5, PS4 re-release of these games, but the OG PS2 version is where it's at for my money. Just one of my all-time favorite platformers. This really nice looking 1.5D, not 1.5D, what am I talking about? 2.5D. 2.5D style where everything is in 3D, all the models, but you kind of move in this 2D plane. It looks really nice. Has some of the most hilarious voice acting ever, with the characters just doing these weird noises. It's great. And yeah, it's one of these, again, one of my childhood favorites. I'm really glad that I bought this game as like a 14-year-old. I got a used copy of it at some local used game store for probably like 20 or 30 euros. And I still have my original copy here. It's really expensive now. So thank God I bought it when I did. Right. So at number 10, Klonoa 2, Lunathea's Veil. Great platformer, good vibes, good music, great gameplay. I really like the, just to add a little bit to the commentary, I really like the mechanic where you grab enemies and you can use them as this sort of, like you do like a rocket jump type of thing with the enemies before they die. It's fun. Right. Next up, probably the most controversial pick I've had in any of the top 10 lists I've made so far. So at number 9, we have EA Sports, Madden 2005. Now, why do I have an American football game in my top 10 PS2 games of all time list? Well, this is the game that got me into American football. I'm a huge fan of Baltimore Ravens. Here on the cover, Ray Lewis, the legend, probably got away with murdering a person, but that's not important. Great football player, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Ravens. And this is the sports game for me. This is my all-time favorite sports game. It was a tight competition between this and NHL 2004, which is my favorite NHL game from my childhood. Also NBA Live 2004. That's a really, really good one as well. So many different PS2 sports games to pick from. Also ESPN NFL 2K5. Really good stuff. Have it on the shelf as well. But yeah, Madden 2005. This is back when Madden was king. Madden was great. The game is fantastic. The gameplay still holds up. I play this game every once in a while. It still holds up. It's really fun to play. I would argue this is more fun to play than many of the modern Madden games. Definitely less buggy. The franchise mode is fantastic. You have the radio show every week. You've got the not the combiners. You got the mini games with the preseason drills where you can improve your players. That was a feature that was removed from later games. Just you've got all that, man. Putting on these old sports games and just scrolling through the rosters of players is so much fun. Just remembering all of these great players that have been retired for like 20 years at this point. Are there any players from this game who are still active? Probably not. The last ones have retired maybe like in the last 5 to 6 years. Some of these guys have still played, I think. That's interesting. Like kickers and punters who played like when they're 40. Yeah, I mean Tom Brady retired just a couple of years ago. So just the rosters are fantastic. Just classic nostalgic rosters full of great players. And I mean, yeah, I love Madden 2005. It was my gateway to the sport. I love the old school Madden games. The soundtrack and like I said, the radio show and all the different storylines. There was a newspaper you could read every week that had like highlight moments and from the last week in the league, and it's so good. better than any of the modern Madden games. At number 8, another all-time classic, we've got We Love Katamari, which is the second game in the series. Now, a fantastic game about rolling balls. So, incredibly simple game, just flawless execution. I recently, I recently played through the PS5 version of this game. I've probably talked about it already in the recent gaming video, because I'm like, spoilers, I'm filming a bunch of videos back to back and then uploading them on the YouTube and scheduling them, so because I don't have time to do them every week. So I've probably talked about this game in one of the recent gaming episodes in October, I think. So yeah, I recently replayed this on the PS5 version. It's just so much fun. I spent 2 days just going over the missions, doing them over and over again, getting high scores, playing the fun stuff again. There are some levels here that are infuriating, like the one where you have to roll up stuff to like build a fire and you can't touch water. It's really annoying. And the one with the bears and the cows, I always hate that level. But yeah, just We Love Katamari, and this is the perfect sequel. Like there is nothing really that you could do to make this better. And they haven't. There are some Katamari games that came after this, but none of them are as good as this, really. Katamari Forever on the PS3, I really like that game. It's basically a collection of really fun levels from this game and the first game, and the Xbox 360 game as well, and then some new levels. But it's really fun. But yeah, this is where it's at. We Love Katamari. So if you can get the PS5 version, We Love Katamari Reroll, you're interested in checking out Katamari games, that's the version to go for. Or the original, if you want to pay a bunch of money to have this on your shelf and have the hardware. So yeah, rolling up balls in style. Also has a fantastic music. I recently found out that the soundtrack, the genre of the soundtrack is called Shibuya-kei, which is interesting. I didn't know that before. So thanks to the person who let me know about that. Right. So that was, what was that? Number 8. Number 7, an underrated action game. I went for Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. Now, I have no idea why more people don't talk about this game, because it is one of the all-time great stealth action games. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven, and this one in particular. The other PS2 game, what is it called? Fatal Shadows. I don't think it's nearly as good. The gameplay is kind of similar, but it's more on the silly side. This is a darker version. So it's a ninja, samurai, stealth, action, espionage game. You control these ninjas who have to do assassination missions and different style of missions. I don't want to spoil anything. There's an interesting thing about this game that you unlock the third character, which is fun. And it's really tense, and the stealth. It's one of the all-time. Tenchu is one of the all-time great stealth game franchises. Unfortunately, dead now, of course. But I'm still hoping that a game would surface from this series again, because it's definitely a really, really well-known and well-liked classic series. But yeah, I like the dark tone of this game in particular, as opposed to some of the more lighthearted stuff in the other games. It's really, really tense and really interesting. And just the movement, you have the ninja rope that you can rope around, get to high places, and the classic cat whistle that you can distract people with, and just brutal action where you can do this almost Manhunt style, the game Manhunt on the PS2, Manhunt style execution moves on these characters. And yeah, Tenchu Wrath of Heaven is a criminally underrated, slept-on game, all-time great PS2 game for my money. Right. At number 6, we've got... Now, this is when the big boys come in. So at number 6, maybe a bit low for some people, but for me, I think it's perfect, because there are other games here that I like more. At number 6, I have Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Some people like the second game better. I've never really enjoyed the second game that much. I should replay it because I just didn't really get into it when I originally played it. I played 2 and 3 back to back on the PS2. I've never played the other more modern versions of them. Oh yeah, this is the original. This is not the the altered version. What is it called? Like Subsistence or Substance or whatever. So just the old school original Metal Gear 3 Snake Eater. Again, as you can tell from this list, I mean, now looking at what I have left here, pretty much half of my list is stealth action games. So another all-time great stealth action game. I really like the 1960s Cold War setting. That's one of the reasons why I've always gravitated towards this one in particular in the series. So this is my favorite Metal Gear game. Like easily. Like this one and the original on the PS1 are my two favorites. And just, I mean, it's Metal Gear. The art style is fantastic. Kojima's writing is just fantastic. It is so on the nose at times when you play it, but then years after, when you go back to it, you realize, oh yeah, like Kojima was like, he's a fucking prophet. Like he predicted everything that's going to happen in the real world. It's insane. But yeah, like I really like the jungle sneaking around in a jungle gameplay that a lot of this game is about. So it's less about the Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, like Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. I should make clear of sneaking around in these like high-tech facilities, and it's more about sneaking around in the jungle. It's really fun. I love Metal Gear 3, so it's at number 6. At number 5, this hurts me because I would have liked to have this higher, but there just isn't. There's no way I could put it higher. Like the next 5 are all in my all-time 20 favorite video games. All of them. And this one is also actually probably so. Like 6 of these games are in my all-time top 20 favorite games, like regardless of console. So it's kind of difficult to rank them. But yeah, another stealth game at number 5. We've got Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. This is the third one in the series and easily the strongest entry, in my opinion, into the series. Right, so after the first game, which is great, I replayed these games, the first, the second, and this one. I replayed these on the PS3 from the HD Remaster Collection. I replayed these a couple of years ago, and they hold up really well. So the first one was a classic. The second one, yeah, not really that much, but it was a different developer. And for the third one, the original game came back, and they did a proper sequel. The first game. Or it's not. Is it a sequel, directly sequel to the first game story? I can't remember, but whatever. But it is the second proper Splinter Cell game, like full-blown Splinter Cell game. And this, in my opinion, is probably the greatest stealth game ever made, or at least my favorite stealth game ever made. Some really good challengers are obviously Metal Gear 3, also like Thief 2 on the PC, stuff like that. So there are some challengers. You could go either way with these games, but I think that this game is just, it has such a variety of mechanics in the gameplay. You can approach these levels in such different ways. You can just go in like blasting everyone with a shotgun if you want to, but why would you want to do that? Or you can just sneak around and basically just almost do a pacifist run. It's not, I don't think it's possible in this game to do a proper pacifist run, but you can pretty much sneak around people and skip gunfights. And that's how I always play. I either play in a way that I want to kill everyone, but completely in silence, or I just try to skip everything, all the enemies. But yeah, just the The writing is maybe a bit cringe. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll admit to it. This is very early 2000s CIA army soldier guy. Let's go in and take care of the tangos style of game. So it is kind of cringy in that sense, the sort of hoorah military stuff. But you're Sam Fisher, and Sam Fisher is the coolest guy in the world. Like, look at these goggles. There's no one else is cooler than Sam Fisher. It doesn't matter how many terrorists he eliminates, how many tangos he kills, or if he even needs to really kill all of the tangos. But like, it is what it is. Some people probably think that it hasn't aged that well, but I don't care. The gameplay is great. Also, back in the PS2 era, the shadows, just having this darkness, a complete darkness in a game, so you can sneak around in complete darkness with these night vision goggles. No one else did this better than the Splinter Cell games. The shadow and light mechanics were like groundbreaking for the time in these games. Also, this one, a special shout out to Amon Tobin, the Brazilian electronic musician. He did the soundtrack for Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, and it is a banger. One of the great video game soundtracks of all time. Just listen to theme from Battery. Listen to that song, like the ambient music and the sort of what would you call it? What is it? It's not electronic dance music. It's like dark ambient combined with a little bit of a beat style as well at times. Like Amon Tobin is very difficult to nail down in a specific genre anyway. He's kind of an experimental electronic musician. So yeah, really good soundtrack as well. Right. Speaking of good soundtracks, at number 4, we've got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, some people would probably prefer Vice City. It's a coin flip, really. Do you like 80s disco better than 90s gangster rap? Then you probably enjoy Vice City more. But for me, San Andreas is the high point of the series, the greatest GTA game of all time. Like, I remember as a kid, like this is before the internet really, so I remember going to the grocery store and seeing a gaming magazine with this game on the cover. Actually, I'll grab it. It's there on my shelf. I remember buying this magazine. It's right here. So at the local grocery store, I found this magazine. It had GTA San Andreas on a cover. Also has a review for Star Wars Battlefront, Resident Evil Apocalypse, the movie. Right. And I bought this magazine just for this preview of GTA San Andreas. And it is like, where is it? It just caught my imagination. It had all of this talk about, here it is. It has all of this talk about just a great visual style as well. Just info on the main characters and the main side characters. And just all of this information about the gameplay mechanics, like being able to go to the gym and eat at fast food restaurants and make your character different weights, and it could affect gameplay and all of these, like these screenshots. And I had to get the game immediately. Like this was a day one purchase. There's Fat CJ. I had to get this game. Also, you can swim in this game. That was groundbreaking for a GTA game. So yeah, shout out to Pelaajalehti. Doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, this was the first magazine I bought, first gaming magazine that I bought, and I subscribed to this magazine. I have like over 200 of them on my shelf. So yeah, shout out to Pelaajalehti. Doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, back to San Andreas. Great open world game. I don't really even know if I have to say much about this game, but everyone knows San Andreas. Everyone knows how good it is. Probably some things that I like the most. Just thinking about my first experience with the game, just riding around with a bicycle. How many video games are there on a PS2 where you can just ride around the neighborhood on a bicycle? It's fantastic. It's really good. That sounds funny, but that's where the game starts from. Basically, you're in an alleyway and you have to like grab a bike, and just the scope and the size of it. With again 3 islands, like that's usually the case with Grand Theft Auto games. It's either 2 or 3, or then 2 and one smaller one. But here, just the second island alone with the mountain area. So doing triathlons in the mountain area, doing triathlons in this game was one of my favorite things, where you had to do the like biking and swimming and running. It's, I mean, words cannot express how important this game was for me as a teenager playing it for the first time. Also has really fun multiplayer in it. You can play with a friend. It has a 2-player mode in it. I remember like playing 2-player mode with a friend of mine, and just we used all these like in-game cheat codes where you could fly around with your cars, and it was just complete mayhem. Really fun. Before the time of GTA Online, you could just play GTA with a friend of yours and have a good time without having all of the random cheaters running around and ruining everything. So yeah, that's GTA San Andreas at me. For my money, the greatest open world game probably ever made. And at number 4 on my top 10 PS2 games list. Now moving on to the top 3. Now the next one is again a bit more on the controversial side, because I decided to go with the PS2 version of the all-time PC classic. And this is Deus Ex. Now, PC gamers will faint when I say this, but I've never played Deus Ex on the PC. I've only played this PS2 version of it. And I think the PS2 version is just fine. The game itself is so good that it doesn't really matter that the controls are kind of whatever. And it's of course, it's a PS2 game. It's very limited in comparison to a PC version, but it is such a classic game. Again, a stealth game if you want to play it in a stealth way. This is one of the early like immersive sim games where you can kind of decide how you want to approach levels. You can go in blasting everyone with a machine gun, or you can sneak around stealthily. You can do a full-on pacifist run, only using a stun gun and stuff like that. And just one of the great strengths of Deus Ex is the storyline. So this is very much it's a conspiracy theory, the most explicitly conspiracy theory game out there, where you are this special agent and you kind of uncover this sort of a massive conspiracy going around, and you have to decide whose side you want to take. And it's very interesting. Also has one of the all-time great last boss fights, where it's just a dude that you can just shoot once in the head and he's dead. It's great. It's one of the most anticlimactic but perfect boss fights ever. It's just a guy. It's an evil guy, but it's just a guy. And yeah, the first level, which is it takes place on Liberty Island, off the coast of New York. Just that level alone, you can spend hours playing that level. There is so much to explore and so much to find, and different styles of gameplay to try, and it's just mind blowing how ahead of its time this game was. And it's really sad that the series is pretty much dead. I think the sequels are really good as well. Not necessarily, what is it called, the Invisible War or whatever. I haven't played that one. That one sounds awful from everything I've heard about it. But the PS3 reboot, I really liked a lot. What's it called? Human Revolution. And then even Mankind Divided on the PS4, I like quite a bit. So yeah, it's a great series, and the original game is by far the best one in the series. Yeah, and the PC version is probably a lot better than the PS2 version, but this is how I played it when I was a young wee lad. Well, actually, I was probably around 16 or 17 when I played Deus Ex. I didn't play it when it was brand new on the PS2. I played it a bit later. But yeah, Deus Ex at number 3. It's more really about the game than the like that it's a PS2 game. Like just the game is so enjoyable. So much variety to the gameplay and a great story. Right, at number 2, I decided to go with Okami. Now there is a PS3 version of this, like an HD version of this. There is also a PS4 HD version of it. I've played it both on the PS2 and the PS4, so I've been in this game twice, and I think it holds up incredibly well. It's kind of like a Zelda game, one of those more open-ended third-person Zelda games, but with a wolf, and it has the most gorgeous art style ever with this ink painting look to it. Developed by Clover, a company that doesn't exist anymore, doesn't even have the logo on the cover, which is really depressing. Right, so these are the guys who made Beautiful Joe, they did God Hand, they did Okami, and they basically went bankrupt. So they haven't done much since. Of course, the individual people have done other work, like the director of this game, but yeah. I mean, Okami, I fell in love with it when I played it as a kid. Probably around 20... When would it have been? I wasn't really even that young then. This is again one of those games like Deus Ex that I didn't play immediately. I only played it probably around 2011, 2012, around that range. So a long time ago. But yeah, what I especially like about Okami is that it's just a huge game. It's like 60 hours of straight up story. That's insane. There is so much to this game. It's a collection of some of the most famous folk stories in Japanese history. So you have Orochi here with Susanoo fighting him, and you have the Princess Kaguya, you have Yamato, the ship from space, spaceship Yamato, that stuff. And you have other folk stories here, and they're all just smashed together into this one giant storyline with Amaterasu, the son of God. The son of God, the god of sun, or the goddess of sun. What am I even talking about? The goddess of sun being kind of resurrected into this wolf body and having to save the day, save the world, fighting against these evil creatures, spirits and stuff. Like there are some things that I don't like about the game, like how they recycle the boss fights over and over again, especially the Orochi boss fight. It wasn't a problem for me on the PS2 because I love the pacing of the game, and I love the ambition of the game, that there is so much story in the game, and it is such a fast-paced story as well. Like it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. It doesn't really stop ever. You can, of course, do exploration. There are towns here that have side missions in them and whatever. But if you just play through the main storyline, it's probably going to take you at least 30 to 40 hours, even without doing any of the side stuff. There's just so much to it. So it's an incredibly ambitious game. The gameplay itself is really fun as well, because you aren't just fighting in a regular way. You have this like brush that you can stop time, and then you paint with your brush. You can do these different patterns, and they turn into attacks and stuff like that. You also do puzzles with that. So there is this really innovative gameplay mechanic here as well that is very well implemented and has lots of different uses. Lots of different puzzles and secrets that you can uncover using that. And yeah, I mean, Okami it's just a fantastic game. So it's a number 2 for me. And then moving on to number 1, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about number 1 because everyone who knows me already knows what it is. But And I don't think this really needs any justification, to be honest. And my number one game is Silent Hill 2 Director's Cut. This is the PS2 physical version of that. Is it necessary to have the Director's Cut there? Not really. I mean, I would have just a base game as well, but I mean, this does have the extra little side story to play. So I guess this is the definitive edition of Silent Hill 2, and also much better than the remake. Just going to say that. Just going to put that out there. I have a review of Silent Hill 2 up on the channel. It's from the old days when I was living in a different apartment. I didn't have this gorgeous background, and it was much even more low quality than and bare bones than these videos are that I'm doing now. But yeah, it's 2 hours and 45 minutes of me basically ranting about Silent Hill 2 remake and how it's not as good as the original game. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Maybe I'll even put a link to it down below. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 Director's Cut, one of the all-time great video game stories. James Sunderland, great character. I mean, I've played this game now probably 7 or 8 times. I've played it twice on a PS2, and I've played the PS3, the very compromised and mediocre PS3 HD version. I've played that, I think, 5 times or 4 times, because I went for trophies on that HD version. And then, of course, the remake on the PS5. So I've played this game so many times, but the storyline, it just, every time I play it, I'm just more impressed by how good it is. I love the original voice acting here. The bad voice acting, so to say, with these amateur voice actors. It gives the game a feel of just regular people. It's perfect for the game, the vibe that the game goes for, especially the main character. The voice actor for James Sunderland is so bad, but also so good. He's just a guy, and it works really well with the game. And there are so many great moments here. You have Angela with the knife. You have Angela at the flaming stairs. You have the original Abstract Daddy boss fight, which is fantastic. The remake boss fight is terrible. It's awful. It's much worse than the original boss fight in this game. And I mean, I love everything about this game, even the bad combat and the movement. I love it. It's perfect for this game. It fits perfectly here. I like tank controls when they seem to have a purpose in a game. There are games that have tank controls that are just bad. Like, I don't know, like The Mummy on the PS1, stuff like that. There are games that have awful tank controls. But for a game like Silent Hill 2, it's perfect. And the awful combat, the awful melee combat where you can seemingly not hit anything with it, it's perfect for this game. I love it. I love everything about this game. So, yeah, Silent Hill 2. Also, like many, I always say this, I gravitate towards games that have great music, great visual style, and interesting ideas in them. So, again, for Silent Hill 2, Akira Yamaoka soundtrack, there isn't really anything better than that. So, yeah. What should I do with the thumbnail? So this is the top 10 for me for the PS2. At number 10, Clonoa 2 Lunatia's Veil. At number 9, Madden NFL 2005. At number 8, We Love Katamari. Number 7, Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. At number 6, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. At number 5, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. At number 4, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. At number 3, Deus Ex. Number 2, Okami, and number 1, Silent Hill 2, and specifically the Director's Cut. Right. So what should I do with the thumbnail? Should I use... I'll use Persona 4, which is not on the list. As per usual, I'll do the thumbnail with a game that isn't on the list. So there you go. That's Persona 4. I'll be back again next week with something else. Bye-bye.